All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new unit on rates and scales. Rates being something that we use kind of in an everyday life, and scale to determine how much stuff is, or cost, or weight, or stuff like that, speed, and scale being how big or small something is. So if something's really big, what kind of scale is it? If something's made much smaller, what kind of scale do we work on? And we're going to take a look at a few different lessons on that. And the first one we're going to take a look at is comparing rates and scale. So this is SC.01. We're going to be comparing and interpreting rates. Today we're just going to be taking a look at rates. That's all we're going to look at, and what they are, and how we can use rates as well. So the first thing that we want to take a look at is, what is a rate? Okay, so what do we deal with when we talk about a rate? And some of you may have ideas as well, and hopefully those ideas kind of go along with what we're going to be talking about here in this video. So rate is a comparison. It's a comparison of two amounts that are measured in different units. And there's all sorts of different ways that we can compare rates. Anytime we have a rate can also be considered like a ratio, and we're going to put ratio in there in just a little bit there, but it's just comparing two things. So if we were in class, one of the things I might be comparing is the number of boys and girls in class, or the number of students wearing jackets to the number that are not wearing jackets, or the number who have brown hair to not have brown hair. So we can have all sorts of different rates that we're dealing with. It's always comparing two different things. And just to kind of see what is a comparison that we can come up with. Now, in regular life, we don't deal a whole lot with rates so much. We do a little bit, but what we do a lot is what's called a unit rate, and this is just a simplified rate. So a unit rate is that ratio, okay, between the two measurements, okay, which is the numeric in which the numerical value of the second term is always going to be 1. And this is where we come up with our term when it comes to rate of, and I'm going to put it into brackets just behind here, the term per. Okay, and you've probably heard of this in the past. We might have something like kilometers per hour. Well, it's the number of kilometers we can drive every 1 hour. Okay, so this is 1 hour. Okay, we could have something like, and maybe you remember this from keyboarding class, words per minute. And there the P is per. We can think of it as a slash as well. Put a slash through there. This is how many words can you do in 1 minute. Okay, how many words can you type? Now, other ones, for those of you that are driving and have to pay for gas, okay, the number of dollars per liter. Okay, how much are you going to spend per 1 liter of fuel? Okay, and right now we have actually really good rates, and depending on when you watch this video, it might have changed, but there's a really good unit rate on fuel right now. Okay, or we could have something like miles per gallon. Okay, fuel mileage. This is how many miles can we drive for every 1 gallon of fuel that we have. Now, this is an American one. In Canada, we use something a little bit different. We use something called liters per 100 kilometers, and we'll take a look at that rate as well. This is more of a rate. This is a unit rate. These are all unit rates because it's all per 1 gallon. Okay, and technically this is per 100 kilometers. It's kind of a 1, but we'll deal with it in a bit of a different way. Okay, so that's how we can figure out, that's what unit rate is, and we deal with it all over the place in our lives.